The level of censorship I'm dealing with right now is really hard for me to explain in any way other than it being conscious censorship. Um, just as an example here, this is one of the um, posts that I commented on. I got into a discussion with this conservative, blowhard guy, and I ran off some kind of typical, anarchist theory here. As you can see, there's 57 comments there. That's in, if I go up to there. But if I look on the page, there's no comments. There's no comments if I log in to the account that I made the response on. There's no comments if I log in a different um, account, and there's no comments if I log in with no account. So it seems to be that all of those comments have disappeared, but they are accessible. So they've just been removed from the front page. Almost as though it seems like somebody doesn't want those being read. Um, for me, the annoyance is that it means that I can't remove them. I've copied the conversation off into my Word document. Um, but I mean, this conversation it's people can't read it, right? And it seems to be that this is what the YouTube censors are trying to prevent. They're not trying to prevent spam. They're not trying to prevent, dumb comments. There's lots of spam. There's lots of racism. There's lots of, misogyny and just flat out, stupidity. You know, 50 likes and all the other day off school. Like all that trash. It's all over. The comments are full of garbage. Okay, so they don't seem to be making any attempt to really clean up the comment section in any meaningful way. What they're trying to prevent is meaningful discussion. And specifically, what they're trying to prevent is people like me using this as a platform to get ideas across. Okay, I don't know who this Kibble Wibble person is. I suspect that he's probably a bot. Um, these uh, I'm going to take a step back here for a minute. Have you ever argued on message boards on the internet? Okay, because if you have, something that you learn pretty quick is that there is either an industry or a department, or there's some entity that is funding, and to quite a substantial degree, that is funding statist actors to go on the internet and argue for certain points. That said, political parties do it as well. And in this case, this is probably a Trump supporter. In fact, if you go on those Trump videos and you see it's just full of comments that make you want to, bomb the states, the truth is that most of those aren't real people. And you have to remember that, as you're, writhing in anger at the the horrificness of it. I don't know what the campaign is trying to accomplish. It's clearly going to backfire. Like they must legitimately think the United States is. See, I've read a bunch of articles today that are arguing that Trump isn't a fascist, or over the last couple of days arguing that Trump isn't a fascist. But he is. I mean, to me, that's what fascism is. Fascism isn't a perception of a leader or whatever else. Fascism is a means of working a population up. And I think this is kind of a common misperception of things, right? like fascism in Germany didn't happen as a groundswell of support coming up. Fascism in Germany happened because you had a lot of money behind this guy Hitler, and he worked people up. Um, that's kind of, and so all of these articles are arguing that, you know, Trump isn't a fascist because he doesn't have this movement behind him. He's generating it. Well, Hitler didn't have a movement behind him either. He generated it the same way that Trump is, through big money advertising. It's actually very similar, creepily similar. But if you're media savvy, and you know what the actual, if you understand what you're actually dealing with, being largely manufactured, like you're not tying these posts to people, right? It's the easiest thing in the world to manufacture, and if you were running a campaign like this, a serious campaign for a serious office, of course you would do that. You'd be insane not to. You'd be an amateur if you didn't. So, but yeah, let's go back a step further. Governments do this, right? Where was I going with this? Yeah. So political parties do it. This right here, particularly, is probably not an intelligence agency. It's probably just a Trump supporter. And so I'm not arguing with, the CIA. I'm arguing with the Trump campaign. But I don't think the Trump campaign can do this. It doesn't have enough control over the medium. What I'm dealing with right now is the Trump campaign may have even reported me. Although, if they did, I'm already a known entity. I can tell you that much. So this is something that I've done in my life many times, and I'm aware of it. I don't know if they're aware that I'm aware of it. See, and that's maybe the thing that I'm letting on here. Although I've actually pointed this out repeatedly, that I know that I'm arguing with fake people. A lot of the times, I have a good understanding of when it is that the people aren't real. It's when you get extreme caricatures. Um, you know, nobody, no actual person has these perspectives, right? Um, it's when you realize that, like, no human being could be this absurd. And then you start seeing patterns. You start seeing the same things show up, and you start realizing, okay, these people are trained to say these things, and the reason why there's so many commonalities is because it's their training. But what I wanted to get across was that there's sort of that level of intuitive empiricism. If you spend a lot of time arguing on the internet, you run across it, especially if you have opinions that are outside of the mainstream. But it's maybe hard to piece it together. The thing that allowed me to really kind of understand it was that I read a series of exposés on the way that China polices its internet. Um, and I'm extrapolating. I'm saying that, well, if they do it, then we do it too. But what apparently they do in China is that they actually have a department of psychologists. Okay, these people are trained psychologists with master's degrees and PhDs, and their job is to go on the internet and attempt to psychologically manipulate people on kind of like a one-by-one basis to have them accept the ruling party status quo. right? And the trick is that the person on the other side is supposed to think that they're dealing with peer pressure, they're dealing with real people that are, pushing things down, and they're supposed to react badly to the pressure, right? And they use, tactics that are meant to demean them. It's a psyop. It's psychological warfare. This is a real psyop, not like the make believe psyops that the conspiracy theorists go on about. This is uh, this is real stuff, and it's huge. Like apparently the Chinese government, employs thousands of psychiatrists to do this. And it's what their job is to go over message boards to find dissidents or people that just express ideas that are different, and beat them down verbally until they agree. And what I've come to the conclusion of is that, well, if the Chinese government does this through their own program, then it must be the case that the American government does it through its own program as well, and kind of tying that together to all of the outrageous debates that I've been in on YouTube, and other places makes it pretty clear. Okay, and I think that a big part of the reason why I'm being singled out, why I'm not allowed to get my posts across, is because I win a lot of these debates, or I confuse them, I spin them around. Um, and so I'm arguing with these psyops experts, with these psychological gurus, that they're getting paid the big bucks. They went to school for years. They're supposed to know how to trick me into adopting the pro-capitalist status quo, about hard work and the whole thing, right? But I'm effectively countering everything that they're doing. I'm getting out ahead of them, and I'm creating these dialogues. And it's massive blowback from their perspective, and they don't want people to see it. Because what I'm doing is I'm converting what they believe is a tool of manipulation, psychological manipulation, that's supposed to be working in their benefit, and I'm converting it into a type of art that's really in my benefit, right? So if I can get all of these dialogues off, or as much of it as I can, um, then I'm getting somewhere with this, right? But they don't want to. They don't want anyone to see it, and they're going out of their way to make sure that it's all scrubbed down, right? So that's what I think I'm dealing with here. But I mean, it's pretty intense. Like I've been I've tried just commenting on random posts, and like the whole reply thread disappears, like it just evaporates. Like like high level posts, I can't see any of it. Doesn't matter what I do, it's just gone, right? Um, Now I suppose there's a possibility that it's that I can't see the IP, or sorry, that it's anything from my IP can't see it. I don't. That almost sounds like I'm be dealing with some kind of like anonymous hacking group that's fucking with me, kind of thing. I couldn't imagine how, how that would come across, or why it is that anybody would do that. Um, all I can see is that I'm not able to access the replies on the posts, no matter what I do. As soon as I reply to them, indicating to me that it's pretty clear that um, somebody doesn't want me replying. Somebody doesn't want me getting in those arguments, and somebody doesn't want anybody to see the outcome of those arguments. I've been talking about, the candidates for president getting assassinated. Maybe I need to watch my own ass. And you know, maybe that's for real kind of thing, because they're going to. I mean, I know that I'm playing with some scary people here. Um, this is this is deep psyops, and I know what's going on. And like I say, I think a part of like I don't know if they know I've let on more than once, but I mean I don't know how centralized things are, but I do know what's going on, and um, it's I don't know. Maybe I've got a bit of an ego. Um, I mean I don't, but maybe that it's stroking it a little um, to actually have the psyops people on me that hard. It means I'm doing something right. Um, and the fact that I reacted that way, that I get the psyops shut me down, hey, I'm doing something right. It's exactly why they're shutting me down, right? Um, and the fact that I'm laughing about it, right? Like I'm not even I'm not remotely phased. I'm just like astounded, right? And I'm documenting it, and then I'm gonna put it up on YouTube that says, look, the CIA has shut me down, guys. Um, I'm playing with fire. I know it. Um, these are long vlogs. Nobody's gonna watch them until it's over. Right? It'll be too late. But I'm playing with something here. We'll see how that works out. But yeah, it's the censorship is pretty strong. I don't. There's not really a lot I can do. Besides get as much information off as I can, and move it to somewhere that's a little bit safer. Although, the the depth of this is hard to know. I could see my site get taken down. I don't know. Find out.